Stop her before she steals something! The store manager's shout cut through the polished air of the showroom, louder than the security alarms themselves. All eyes turned to Selena Grant, a black woman clutching nothing but her purse and pride. Within seconds, the police stormed in, ready to drag her across marble floors as cameras rolled. The manager smirked, certain her humiliation was complete. But the next man through those doors would make the entire store regret every word. The glass doors of Harlow Jewelers opened with a quiet hiss, and Selena Grant stepped inside. The showroom glimmered with diamond necklaces and gold watches displayed like trophies beneath spotless glass. She had come to buy a watch, an anniversary gift for her husband, but before she could even take 3 steps, the stares began. Behind the counter stood Gregory Harlow, the store manager himself. His eyes scanned her from head to toe, dismissive and suspicious. He leaned toward an associate, muttered something, then squared his shoulders. "Ma'am," he called sharply, "this section isn't for browsing. Unless you can afford it, I'll have to ask you to step aside." Selena stopped, calm but firm. "I came here to make a purchase," Gregory smirked. "Of course you did. Let me guess. Paying with someone else's card? Or maybe a fake ID?" His voice carried through the store. Heads turned, Selena set her purse gently on the counter. "I asked to see the platinum watch collection." Instead of answering, Gregory motioned toward the guards near the door. "Stay close. We've had incidents like this before." The insult rippled through the showroom. Customers whispered, phones discreetly lifted to record. Selena's dignity was being stripped in public, and Gregory was savoring it. "Identification," he demanded. "Passport, proof of income, something real." Selena's tone remained steady. "You're profiling me. You know it, and everyone here can see it." "Profiling," Gregory scoffed. "I'm protecting my store. Now show me proof, or leave." When she didn't move, he slammed his hand on the counter. "Fine, I'll handle it." He picked up the phone, his voice rising with performative urgency. 911. "Yes, I have a suspicious woman here trying to commit fraud." "Send officers immediately," gasps spread. An elderly couple shook their heads, embarrassed for him. A teenager whispered into her live stream, "He's calling the cops on her for shopping." Selena stood perfectly still. She didn't plead, didn't argue. She knew the truth didn't need volume. It needed timing. Within minutes, the front doors burst open. 2 police officers strode inside, hands near their belts. Gregory greeted them with a grin. "That's her, right there. She's been trying to scam us with fake credentials." "I want her out," the taller officer frowned. "What exactly did she do?" "She doesn't belong here," Gregory barked. "Look at her. Does she look like she can buy anything in this store? She's wasting our time. Arrest her before she runs." The officers turned towards Selena. "Ma'am, we need to ask you a few questions." Selena met their eyes. "Ask me whatever you want. But first, I suggest you think carefully about who you're dealing with." Gregory laughed bitterly. "Oh, please, she's nobody." But just then, the doors swung open again. A man in a dark suit walked in, his presence commanding before he even spoke. Every head turned. Gregory froze. "Marcus Grant," one officer whispered. "The mayor." The crowd shifted. Some lowered their phones. Others recorded faster. The mayor's face was calm, but his eyes locked on Selena with recognition. And with fire. "Selena," he said, his voice carrying authority that silenced the room. "What happened here?" Gregory's smirk faltered. "Mayor Grant, sir, I didn't know she was—" "You didn't need to know who she was," Marcus interrupted, his tone sharp. "You needed to treat her like a human being." Selena finally spoke. "This man accused me of fraud, called me a thief, and summoned police to drag me out for daring to shop here." Marcus turned to the officers. "Stand down. She's my wife and the first lady of this city." Gasps erupted. Gregory's face drained of color. The teenage live streamer nearly dropped her phone, then shouted, "She's the mayor's wife!" The taller officer stiffened. "Mr. Mayor, we had no idea. You had no reason to be here at all," Marcus said firmly. "This was a manager weaponizing you against an innocent woman." "Against my wife!" Selena's voice was steady, cutting. "Not just your wife. Any woman who looks like me could have walked in here and faced the same humiliation." Gregory stumbled backward, his words tumbling over each other. It was a mistake, a misunderstanding. No, Marcus said, stepping closer. It was arrogance, and arrogance has consequences. He pulled out his phone, dialing with deliberate precision. Pull every city contract with Harlow Jewelers immediately. Effective tonight. Gregory's knees buckled. No, please, you can't. I just did, Marcus said. And tomorrow morning, the footage from this store will be on every screen in this city. The people will see how their first lady was treated. The teenager's live stream spiked into the hundreds of thousands. Comments poured in, justice, fire him. Never again. Gregory's hands shook. Mr. Mayor, Marcus, please, give me a chance to fix this. Selena's gaze was unyielding. You had your chance the moment I walked in. You chose humiliation, Marcus faced the crowd. Let this be clear. Dignity denied will always bring accountability. Tonight, this store became a symbol of what we're fighting against, and we will not stop. The orchestra of whispers swelled into a storm of outrage. Reporters at the door shouted questions. Cameras flashed. Gregory shrank under the weight of exposure he couldn't control. Within 24 hours, the fallout spread. News anchors replayed the footage endlessly. Hashtags trended nationwide. Go shopping while black. First Lady humiliated. Harlow exposed. Protesters filled sidewalks outside every Harlow branch demanding justice. Corporate scrambled. By the end of the week, Gregory Harlow was terminated. Public apologies rolled out across media channels, scripted and hollow. But the damage was permanent. In City Hall, Marcus introduced sweeping reforms. Mandatory anti-discrimination training for businesses partnered with the city, independent oversight committees, and penalties for racial profiling. Selena stood beside him, not as a victim, but as a catalyst. She never raised her voice that night in the store. She didn't need to. Her silence had been more powerful than Gregory's shouts. And when truth arrived through the doors in the form of her husband, every smirk, every whisper, every insult collapsed into dust. The next gala, the next press conference, the next speech, all carried the same reminder etched into memory. Dignity is not optional. It is owed, and for those who forget, the Grants had already written the consequence. Don't just watch injustice flip. Make it louder. Smash that like if you believe dignity isn't optional. Share this story so the world sees how arrogance collapses when truth walks in. Comment your city and the moment that shook you most. Then subscribe and turn on notifications. Because every story we tell isn't just drama, it's a warning. And you don't want to miss the next reckoning.